What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News, and today I want to discuss the future of Aljamain Sterling. But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. All right, guys, getting right into it, we have Aljamain Sterling recently defended his belt against TJ Dillashaw, UFC 280, with I think a second round TKO after TJ Dillashaw kind of blew his shoulder out, or his shoulder went out of his socket, and Aljamain was really able to take advantage of that and get the easy W. But recently he's kind of come out and said that he's going to be taking a hiatus from fighting right now. I think he said that he doesn't want to come back until June 2023. I have the quote right here via bjpen.com. I haven't talked to the UFC and I don't have the desire nor the motivation to go through another training camp like that, Sterling said. So if they're trying to entice me to come back sooner rather than later, it's going to have to be worth my time because I'd rather catch up on some things that I haven't had the moments to sit down and smell the roses for a bit. 2 fights in 2022. People think that champions defend their belts more than 2 times a year. You're drunk. Most times a champion, go back and look through history, most times a champion usually fights 1 time a year if they're lucky. 2 times is ideal, which I already did, and I want to take a break. I think I earned that break. Based on what he said there, there's literally no argument there. That is a very true statement. A lot of times champions really only defend their belt once a year, ideally twice a year. You don't really have the super active champs like what he did twice this year, or like kind of like what an Adesanya will bring to the table, who will usually defend his belt 2-3 times a year. That is rather rare. And I think with all the controversy with Aljamain Sterling, this is going to get a lot of unwarranted flack. And this will go all the way back to him winning his belt, right? When he originally won the belt via disqualification against Peter Yan, a lot of fans did not like the way that he went about it, right? I was one of them at first because he went out there and he's like, oh, no, I'm not the champ. He threw the belt down. And then later that night at his party, you could tell that he accepted that, what happened. He can't change it. So he's like, you know what? Yes, I am the champion, and it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, the way he went out and celebrated like he did. But it wasn't his fault, shit happens. He wasn't looking good up until that moment. He was about to get finished by Peter Yan, and then that happened. And then the whole kind of like theater act that he played out there to get the belt, say he couldn't continue. Maybe he couldn't have continued, but he played it way harder than he should have. So it definitely didn't make him look good. And then he had the neck surgery right after. But obviously he needed it. He obviously needed that neck surgery, and it just didn't make him look good. The timing was really bad. And he finally comes back, officially wins the belt in the rematch against Peter Yan, in a fight where a lot of people thought he lost. I did score the fight for Peter Yan, but it was one of those fights where like O'Malley and Yan, the fight was so close it could have gone either way. So I wasn't mad at all that Peter Yan lost that fight. And then he comes back and defends the belt again against TJ Dillashaw, where his shoulder pops out of socket, and then there's all this controversy where it's like, oh, well, he didn't legitimately beat TJ Dillashaw. But you can't blame him for stuff like that. And, watching the tape, you could say that he kind of caused TJ's arm to pop out again. So the guy's getting a lot of unwarranted flack. And I think that with him defending the belt like this, he finally got the belt, like legitimized it, defended it against TJ. And now he says he wants to take some time off. And June 2023 really isn't an outrageous thing to ask for. We're already this is November 2nd, so I can't, I personally, I don't blame him. I think he did earn that. I think that he has earned that right as champion. He defended the belt twice, take some time off, maybe heal up, go enjoy yourself, go enjoy the money that you've made being champion, and can't wait to see what he does when he comes back. Who knows if he's going to be fighting Henry Cejudo, or if he's going to be fighting like Sean O'Malley, Marlon Chito Vera. He does have a few different options there at 135. So for him to sit back and kind of see the division play out and see who the true number 1 contender is, I don't think that's really a bad idea either. So I think that he's going to get a lot of unwarranted shit for this. But all in all, I think what he's doing is the right move, and I think that he has earned that. And I think he's earned his status as champion, and I think it's about time people need to stop giving Aljamain Sterling shit. Yeah, he made himself look like a fucking dork and a bit cringy early on in his title victory. or capturing the title. But I think that he has displayed a composure and a sort of gravitas to the status as champion. I think that he's making himself look a lot better. It's just unfortunate how bad he made himself look when it came to winning the belt. And people need to remember that Aljamain Sterling that was before that. You know, the guy who went out there and just decimated Jimmy Rivera, outclassed Pedro Munoz, and just looked really fucking good, man. I mean, he's a much better fighter than people give him credit for, and I think a lot of it is just his public image. Just kind of, he shoots himself in the foot a lot. He really has shot himself in the foot a lot, and I can see the tide turning, and he's definitely in a position to where if he sits back and waits and he lets himself heal and do the right thing and kind of stay out of the picture and just let his fighting do in the talking, I think we're definitely going to see a different Aljamain Sterling when he comes back next summer. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think is next for Aljamain Sterling. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts on what he has to say and what he wants to do moving forward and what you guys think the future is for Aljamain Sterling. I'd love to hear it, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.